G'day guys, Jarryd McNeil here. We're in my garage at the McNeil farm and we're about to do a 2025 YZ450 bike build, and I just kind of wanted to give you the rundown on what it takes, or what parts it takes to build a freestyle motocross bike, and what it takes to build my freestyle motocross bike, and the parts that I choose and the sponsors that I work with. So basically it's going to give you a rundown on all the different parts, accessories that I use, and yeah, so basically right now we've got a brand new out of the crate Yamaha 450 2025 model, and I've gone ahead and just kind of stripped some parts off, done a couple of things, kind of greased the front end, just did some little things, greased a couple of things, but basically I've gone and pulled the suspension out of it. For another video for flow, I actually put pegs on it. These are the brand new flow pegs, so they're already on there, so I won't be putting those on. But basically, yeah, from front to back, we're going to start on this bike and kind of show what it takes to build it. So we have the stock seat. So basically, throughout this video, when I get kind of halfway through the bike or towards the end when I'm putting the graphics on, I am going to take all the staples out of the seat and I'm going to cut down the seat, kind of show you how I do that, and we'll chuck a Thrill Seeker seat cover on that. So there's the stock seat. Rear fender, we don't cut them down anymore, we just leave them normal, so I'm going to bolt this back into the new subframe. We'll go ahead and cut out the stock side plates. We have grab holes. So we'll be cutting these out. Obviously fork guards and front plate, that'll just get bolted back on, but we just got those there. Not a sponsor, but I have these little rear axle adjuster blocks, so I'll chuck those on. Some heavy products, but this is the suspension from Enzo, so I've already had this done. I had the suspension taken out of the bike and Eric took it down to Enzo in Orange County, so this is just came back and it's all set up for freestyle motocross, and I'm very, very impressed with Enzo's suspension, I tell you that. Exhaust. So header pipe, DRD, Dr. D, Dog Dubuck Racing. Here's exhaust in here. So we've got an exhaust. I'll pop that out of the wrapper here a bit later on. Inside here we've got the new Backyard Designs graphics. So we've got the handlebars, got the Renthal 821 handlebar. I use a pretty low handlebar. I don't do a lot of like through the bar tricks. I do a bar hop seat grab, but that's about it. I don't do a whole lot of stuff through. I just run a real low racer bar. I really like that for bike control. Got some new grips. So these are, I think, soft compound. Yeah, so pretty sweet. Full diamond. I really like those. I don't like the waffles. No toil air filter. I love these air filters. Their air filter oil is really cool too, because it's like a biodegradable one. You just wash it down the drain, but it's super easy to clean when you use their products, their oil and their washing products, their powder that you wash it with. So easy to keep. They just go through. Obviously this is a brand new air filter, but when I clean my filters, I just get a little stockpile, and it's not like gnarly like the other oils and stuff you would use. We've got Shad, he's out of Utah, fabricator out there who's been doing a lot of the Yamaha subframes. I had on my 23 model, when I first changed to the Yamaha 450, I had one of my mates, Eli, weld up a subframe. It was a really good job, but I seen the boys twitching that. They got one of these done later down the track when they got on the Yamahas, and I felt them and I was super impressed. So Shad does a really sick job of the subframes. Puts your name in there, number, whatever you want really in there. Puts some nice little cross hatching there to get some good grip on that, and puts a new battery box and some little bits, mounts and stuff to hold your like ignition and things like that, bits and pieces, electronic stuff. So that's really cool. I got a GPR here, and chuck the GPR on. So that's another one. Renthal rear sprocket. I'll be running a 52 I've got here. I'll have to chuck a new chain on. So I've got that there. the seat cover for when I cut down that. The new Flow front brake lever and the clutch perch setup. So those are pretty cool. I really impressed with those. I don't like the levers that like break away up and down. These flex out really good and really good materials. So pretty impressed with those. Clutch is kind of like a standard style, like a solid full clutch setup. It's like the Pro Factory style, and I really like that. That's really nice. To do a front brake rotor, front disc, and chuck those on. That should be about it, I think. On the bike, yeah. Some new fresh Dunlop MX-53s. So we'll see how frustrated I get with changing tires. I do a lot of the stuff myself. Basically the engines I'll get, lately I've had XPR, a local company, doing those. So but other than that, like bolt-on stuff and doing all that cosmetic cool blingy stuff, or changing tires and things like that, oil change, all that stuff, I've been doing lately. So been doing a lot actually. Being here out on the property, we're a long way from town, so it's handy to just have your own tire stuff and do all that. So yeah, alright, let's get into building a bike. I'm no professional at this by any means, but cracking the bead probably helps. It's handy having a tire stand, and it's handy having Motion Pro tools, I'll tell you that. Used to have a guy that in town that used to do my tires, but I don't go in there near anymore, and it's just handy to be able to just do tires at home. Some of the neighbours even just come over and they're like, can you help me change your tire? I hate changing tires. I gotta keep up with my father-in-law and my brother-in-law now. Those guys are off-roaders, and they always hate on us freestyle motocross guys, thinking that we can't do anything on our bikes. Little do they know, freestylers, you kind of have to be your own mechanic or you won't make it very far in the freestyle world, I'll tell you that. If you travel overseas, unless you have your dad with you, but there's not too many dudes that get to have their dad go with them everywhere, so we all have to learn how to fix our own bikes, or work on them. Obviously there's people there that help us at events, or we take a mechanic like at X Games, something like that. But sometimes when it's just freestyle shows, you end up just traveling somewhere in the world with your bags, and it's just you with a bunch of other freestyle guys, and you turn up and you're just working on your bike. Sometimes you have to take your own tools, because some of the countries you go to, you don't know what they're going to have there for you. I watch the pros do this all the time, and they seem to get it. Nah, they've changed their material up. I'm gonna say that. That's my excuse. It should be arrow that way. Disc is gonna be in the bike. Disc will be on this side, so it'll be facing. It should be going that way. So the arrow should be going this way with the rim and everything. So let's try that. This is the arrow. Also, another thing I was told is they have a yellow dot as well. I forgot. The yellow dot should be on the disc brake side. This is the part. I'm smiling now, but this is the part where it gets really fun. Not gonna lie. I'll try not to curse. I'll do my very, very best. It may go smoothly until I get to the rear tire. Fronts are okay. Okay. Fronts are okay. I'll tell you, if you really want to know, how to put a tyre on, and this is all, like, I could even find myself getting halfway through this and having to either call somebody from Dunlop because I've messed up, and I have done that before, or I'll call Jay Clark, because Jay Clark's really good at changing tyres. Known him for a long time, and he has a really good YouTube video. Brian Fleck also, I think, has a good YouTube video. These guys work for Dunlop. They work for Dunlop, and that's all they, well, it's not all they do, but yeah, they do tyres a lot. And when they're at Supercross, or Jay Clark does all the magazine stuff, and he's really good at changing tyres. And there's I'm going to try their technique today, but it's pretty crazy to do. You want to lube it up. I just keep smirking because it's the start of the frustration. Some guys use one tyre lever. I have two and back up. Oh, another good tip also is putting it in the sun. Not many people know, but Flow makes 280mm front rotor, and it's actually really sick. It's one of my favorite parts. One of my favorite products that they make is their front rotor. Next, front forks. One fork. Aftermarket ones that they use are really good, but I like to match the stock ones, so I just keep those as spares. Right now I've just gone and measured the forks on my other bike and seen how many millimeters. So 2.89 millimeters is how far I have my forks through. And what's crazy with whips, and like even jumping when you're doing freestyle tricks and things like that, the way your bike jumps off the ramp, it can nosedive or things, like with your rebound and suspension settings. And also when you have your forks lower or higher, it can change how your bike is in the air. So if it whips more dipped or whips more front end high, like all those things adjust. Everything. They're crucial things for people racing motocross, really, but it also makes a big difference with freestyle motocross. You wouldn't read about it, and that's not a specific number either. 2.89. That was not like, I swear I moved it to, and I had it all the way through, and it was kind of being funny when I was doing whips, so I adjusted it and I got it to that point, and I liked it, so I left it there. But there was not like a, 3mm idea or anything like that. People ask me, what's the difference between freestyle and motocross and supercross? Well, 3 differences. Motocross is softer, supercross is medium, pretty hard, freestyle is medium, hard. So guys will range from kind of a supercross setting to the stiffest, like somebody like, I don't know, like the top freestylers, like I think like maybe a Rob Edelberg or a Jackson Strong or a Josh Ian, some guys like that they'll probably run like a really, really, really stiff, like way stiff supercross suspension, like ridiculous. You wouldn't ride it on a track. I run more of like, for whips and stuff, I like to run more of a supercross setting, but a bit stiffer than what I'd probably run if I was racing supercross. So just a heads up of what the differences are. Motocross is generally soft, supercross is medium hard, and then freestyle is normally like rock hard, like super rock hard, maybe medium supercrossy. But yeah, that's the difference, and we do that to the front and rear shocks. And something I noticed too lately was rebounds. We were going really slow on the rebound, so it doesn't, on the ramp it's not really slingshotting out. Now I noticed a big difference with whips. Just a tip. Here's some Tractor Supply grease. I'll be using Yamalube stuff here soon, which, Eric, we need to put in an order for that. We need to sit down on the computer and do that.
Yep.
So, some grease on there. Okay. You never want to forget to grease your shaft either. So we're going to grease the shaft as well while we're at it. I'm no professional at this, but got some experience with shaft lubing. Alright, I'm going to do some wheel spacers. I'm just gonna assemble this lightly because I've got to put the rear. I've got to play with the rear. Hey, come back here. I got to put the rear brake caliper, and I've got to put that spacer on to be able to run this front rotor. So we'll just kind of get this in here, looking the part, and then we'll come back to it. Basically, I don't want to take any of the rear, do anything with the rear end from now on, like with the rear wheel and stuff, until I've got the front wheel in, because it'll be unbalanced on the stand, and then it'll just go flying. So the front end will drop if it's got too much weight up there. So the best way is to work on one end at a time. Renthal 821. I've rode for Renthal. Jeez, I'm gonna say I met them in like Santa Clarita, I think it was, or whatever it was, but not like where Six Flags Magic Mountain is, whatever that place is.
Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita, right? Yeah. They've moved now, but I think I've been with them since probably like 2000 and, I'd say 14 or 14? Yeah. So maybe longer. Yeah, no, 14 probably better, right? So, well, over a decade. That's pretty damn cool. Probably one of the sweetest handlebar companies in the moto industry that you could ever ride for. And I've got to ride with them for over a decade, which is really awesome. They give me sprockets and handlebars, which is really, really helpful. This thing's pretty sick. Nice purple. I wish I had some of those Renthal purple handlebars. Those would have been sick. grip, take it off. Right. I can feel the plate in my arm bending. Joyce, Louise. Who was that? Who was that Japanese guy? Far out, they employed the Hulk. People are probably wondering why I'm taking a brand new tyre off my bike and not just riding with it. But I don't like riding the 33 on motocross track. On freestyle ramps. I like to use the 53 on the freestyle ramps because it lasts a lot longer. It's more of a hard pack tyre, and it just feels a bit different in the air. I notice a few different things with the bike. I like to do whips with the 53 versus the 33, but I ride the 33 on the motocross track, so I'll just chuck it on my track bike or whatever. I'll just use it on another bike for something else. But just on the new freestyle bike, I'll take them off and take the 33s off and put the 53 on there. These are the best tyre spoons, I think, on the market because they don't have a sharp corner like some of the other brands. They're like these little rounded spoons. Helps you not pinch your tyres. Made by Motion Pro. Not saying you can't pinch your tube. I could have totally just pinched my tube. I won't know, but more than likely you're not going to with these versus some of the other ones, in my opinion. Other keyboard warriors out there, so that's my opinion. You can do it however you like. Can't see any damage, but who knows? Find out. This one is nice and warm. Sprocket side. You don't want too much, you don't want enough, too little. You just want...
It's gotta be just right.
It's just as Cole would say, it's just right. But you don't know where the just right line is. Like, you'll understand if any of you ever get to build with Cole SD. He has a weird way of saying, like, you just need to get things just right. But like, we're working on it and we're trying to understand what the just right part is.
It's like one of those, you'll know it when you see it. Like,
yeah.
Like it's just like, you're working on it, and then you're like, yep, that's it.
Just
that's
right.
just right. Right there.
Sorry, I didn't get these sponsored to me. I bought these. But they're, I seen them on my buddy's bike. I thought they got them closer. I just have to figure it out. Trying to get the axle as close as I can up front, so when I do whip, it's got a smaller wheelbase. It's crazy no matter how much you put or how little you put, it all ends up coming over the other side, doesn't it? But you want to have a well-lubed shaft, so you know. Alright, just buttoning up some electronics on the rear subframe. It's starting to look like a dirt bike again, which is pretty sweet. So, what have we got on there? Subframe's on, just buttoned up the electronics, batteries in, got a couple more things there. New fresh Dunlop tyres on, flow front rotor. Just got to finish up the brake line, put all that on. Put the caliper on with the new bracket. What have we got? GPR stabilizer. I've got they got pretty heavyweight oil in there. A lot of dudes doing freestyle like the heavier weight. I like to use a lighter weight and crank mine up to 7 or 8 to get that hard stabilizer. So I'm gonna redo that. Got the handlebars on there. Foot pegs already on. Header pipes all on. Just got to do a couple of things with the little protective guards so I don't melt my boots. Rear sprocket, rental rear sprockets on there, 52. Axle blocks, and yeah, I think that's really about it. Front forks, suspension, rear shock. Yeah, it's about it. What did you do? Quiet. Noticed, just maybe with a Yamaha filter tip, is you can rip them. I put the big side on first and then the front side, and then I just clip that in first and then I pull the front corners over. I've noticed if I pull the back corners over before the front, sometimes it can rip it, so just a heads up. It doesn't get much better than this. Yamaha filter, like, air boxes are so sweet. Done. Yamaha. Clutch perch, flow. Very nice. Very, very nice. My favorite. I've had a lot of different ones over the years. pretty much all the top of the range aftermarket clutch purchase you can get, and this is by far the most impressive one I've ever had. It's always good to have your clutch in from the bar end, just a heads up. Just advice, just my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. Front brake line is always good. I just hung it here, but it's always good to just keep your reservoir above your caliper, I heard. So maybe a little tip if you didn't know. That's what I was told many years ago, many moons ago. So I've just always kind of practiced it. I had a brake go kind of funny the other week. I had a little crash at Parlour and on my 450, and it went a little bit funny, and I took it off and I used one of my other brakes off one of my other bikes, and then I hung the one up that was a bit funky on that there, and I rode again the other day and it was sweet. I used it again and it was fine. So maybe the air bubbles or something in my crash. So, just got interrupted on the phone then, but yeah, basically cutting down a freestyle seat. The Yamaha 450 is actually pretty good to cut down. It's not too bad. Like, you don't need a whole lot off of it to make it low profile, but you're not a real freestyler if you don't cut your seat. People are like, oh, why do you cut your seat because you're short? No, I don't cut my seat because I'm short. I'm a proud short person, okay? Okay, no side plates, what do you reckon? Travis Pastrana style.
I think you should just run it.
Naked, bye. Righto. Well, that's a wrap. Brand new 2025 450 built into a freestyle bike. You've basically seen everything from cutting down a seat, cutting out the airbox, putting on subframe, changing tires, putting suspension in, triple clamps, handlebars, grips, exhaust, chain, sprocket. You've seen it all go on today. Built a whole freestyle bike, and yeah, if you want to see more of this, be sure to like it if you like it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and yeah, just keep following along, and yeah, comment if you like it, if you don't like it, whatever. Yeah, just stoked to be able to build a bike for you guys on YouTube, and yeah, just show you that us freestyle riders can build bikes, and we do a lot of the work ourselves. So pretty stoked to show you my 2025 450. I'm going to break this one in and probably ride this one at X Games in Salt Lake City. So this will be, a couple of things will be changed, but yeah, she's pretty much ready to go do some practice and put some hours on, break her in. So yeah, cheers, thank you, bye bye.